Guys, my name is Nurin Afiqah 2015414, and I will be presenting two of the examples of way that we should not talk to our partner. Okay, so firstly is constantly interrupting. So we need to make our partner feel hurt when we are interrupting them when they are talking to us. It will seem as if like we are not interested in their story. So by making them feel heard, we will have a much more effective communication style. Okay, so next is we should not respond nonchalantly. So we need to respond the way we want to be responded to. So like when if someone is talking to us, we should not like just responding okay like that. Okay, so like conversation should be conducted according to the golden rule. Okay, so golden rule here is that you need to respond them the way you want to be responded, and you will likely get more discussion from your partner if you react more attentively and elaboratively. So that's all for the first two. That's from me. Thank you. Moving on to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Ainin Sofiya, matric number 2019110, and today I'm going to present two styles of bad communication in between couples. Okay, so the first one is passive-aggressive communications. Well, this type of communication is a method of expressing unpleasant feelings that does not involve like a direct communication in between the couples. So instead of expressing some sort of like emotions or want, a couple may decide to communicate with each other in a very passive manner. And this style is often known as quite hostile communication because it involves a lot of hidden aggressions. And it tries to some sort of like convey rage and other sort of pains and negative emotions, and it may known as manipulation as well in the relationship to both of the couples. So if passive aggressive communication become some sort of like a habit, it may impair some people's capacity to maintain like a very good relationship with one another. For example, and if a person may attend to the family reunion and decided to be unpleasant or unconfrontational, a passive-aggressive person may avoid the family gathering overall, or even go to the family gathering but treat them with silent treatment. So that is a passive-aggressive, and as you can see, it's quite unpleasant, and yeah, it's very known as a hidden aggression as well. So the next one is a cyclical arguments that actually never resolve. So it is undeniable that couples fight all the time, and some may fight for money, housekeeping, or even how they spend their leisure time. But for some couple, some of this topic is usually being brought up every single time they fight. Usually, this event happens when the topic fought before was not entirely solved, or even merely brushed off by one of the other couples and they turn to another topic. So when things remain unsolved or have no black and white say, some couple may have the urge to bring it back as a counter arguments to show that one party may have more fault than the other, hence creating a cycle that actually never ends. So when this happens, it is actually advised to have a conversation regarding the topic before and try to solve it as much as possible, because if this kind of topic has been repeatedly brought up, one party may get tired from one another and it can affect the relationship negatively. So that is all for me. Move on to the next presenter.
The next example of communication style that can negatively affect your spouse's feeling is fail to listen with intention. As we all know that communication is the key for all of the relationship. So when we have a conversation with our spouse, make sure the conversation or communication is one-way communication, where you need to focus on what our spouse try to say and react when you need. It is better if you have the mindset where every time you and your spouse have a conversation, each of us need to listen with intention. Failing to listen with intention is one of the bad communication skills. For example, like you act like you do not have intention to hear what they are trying to say, and while in the conversation, you will just nodding and smiling without giving a good response, like give an opinion or etc. The bad effect that may happen is that it can cause misunderstanding or misinterpretation of information from what they try to tell us. So, this problem also can lead to strained relationship and can hurt our spouse feeling.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Asyraf Danial, and I'll be talking about the next point, which is body language, or also known as non-verbal language. It is a very important in any kind of relationship because it plays a big role in driving the relationship towards happiness or vice versa. There is a popular saying that says action speaks louder than words. This is very, very true, especially when it comes to relationship. For an example, just imagine that your partner ignores you for several days, didn't wish you good morning or not even a hi, or maybe even to the extent that they sleep separately without saying anything. Will those actions hurt your feelings or not? Obviously it will, because his or her body language clearly shows that they don't have any interest in you, or maybe they want to distance themselves with you. On the other hand, a lovely and romantic body languages like hugs, kisses, or even just a mere smile could increase the intimacy between you and your partner drastically, because it made our partner felt safe and their existence is appreciated. Hence, there will be less argument and also will bring the relationship into a good term. This sentence is supported by a study about physical touch as one of the love language conducted by Anderson in 2006, where the outcome is physical touch towards your spouse will make them feel needed, loved, and appreciated, hence could result in a successful and a romantic relationship. Moving on to the next negative communication, which is bringing back their past, or Malay says mengungkit. Bringing back their past can be very complicated because there are a lot of bad past someone might have to face. But for this video, I will be talking about mistakes that our spouse committed a long time ago. According to a website called A Conscious Rating, they stated that there are a few reasons why one will bringing back their partner's past. The first one is they are desperately trying to win every argument, even if that is their own mistake. And when one is in a desperate situation, it will call for a desperate measures, which is bringing back their own partner's past. Next, one will also did this when they are hurt with their own partner. Hence, there will be this bringing back the past will be the main ammunition and arsenal for them to revenge and hurt his or her feelings back. And lastly, this is also a diversion tactic for one to divert from the main topic to another unrelated different topic. Bringing back others' past could give a major blow, especially when it comes to the person that we love and we care. They will feel guilty and they will blame themselves for committing the past mistakes. They could also feel that their feelings and efforts all over the way were not validated by their partner, because at the end of the day, their partner will get back to the mistake that they did a long time ago. Next, it could also affect the mental health, as the victims of this issue will feel like they are being punished again and again, past time and present, and they could do nothing to fix it because it's in the past. Then, after all of this mental abuse and torture, it is not surprised if the victim will start to hate their own partner, and the worst case scenario is that it could break and collapse the relationship. Fortunately, bringing every issue will have a major blow for this issue. Especially the solution comes to stop trying so hard that we love and every argument with your partner. They will feel guilty and they will blame themselves even if you are right and your partner is wrong. They could also feel of your feelings and efforts all over the way discuss rationally and validated by their partner without because at the end of the day, their partner will get back. Always love your partner for who they are and always remember that they are not perfect. It could also affect the mental health, but past the victims of this issue and will feel like and love they are being punished again and again. past time and present. Fortunately, every issue will have their solutions, and for this issue, in the past, the solution is to stop trying so hard this mental every argument with your partner. It is not have some tolerance, even if you are right and your own partner is wrong. And the worst case scenario is that you cool down and then get back to it. And
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Sarah. The next example of communication style that can negatively affect your partner's feeling is gaslighting your partner. So we often hear the word gaslighting these days, and it means the mind manipulating strategies of abusive people or a form of abuse where one side make the other side feel guilty and even make them question about their self-worth. The research found that gaslighting has a combination of affectionate and abusive behaviors. And this doesn't only happen in relationship, but in family or politics or any form of relationships. The example of gaslighting is giving a lot of affection at first and make your partner feel as if they're in depth when in arguments, like saying maybe you're the problem, maybe you're oversensitive, maybe you're overthinking. People could do this consciously or unconsciously, so to avoid it, we should always be more aware of what we say, especially in arguments, and always talk it out with understanding. Next, violating your partner's boundaries. It's understandable that once you're married, you need to share a lot of things with your partner, but that doesn't mean that you can cross the boundaries. Whether it's physical like clothing, shelter, body language, or emotional like beliefs, behavior, sense of responsibility, or letting your partner's mood affect your mood. So to build good and healthy boundaries, both sides should treat each other and communicate in a respectful manner.